So a couple days ago, I created a new Facebook group for my community, specifically for film and video because we didn't already have one. And to promote it, I went on to our main private Facebook group for our community and put a video up there. And I did a video explaining the 5 kinds of people that you need in your life in order to succeed. And I tied that in with a story that I had. There was a personal story of mine about when I got out of college and not having a network of people to work with. Our community didn't have a group for film and video already, which I thought was unusual because we actually have a lot of people around here that has worked in that area. But I got about a little bit more than 20 people have joined so far without me actually having to ask them. Now, the video was fun to do. I originally intended it to be a vlog, but it ended up not going that way because I thought, you know what? I can use this video on Facebook instead to get some, other results. And because of that, I didn't put it on YouTube, but I'm going to include it in this video because I want to talk about it. So here's the video. I've just edited out everywhere where I said what the group name was and what the URL was, just because I only want people who are in my community joining it, so it's not open to the web. So enjoy. To do the things that you want to do, you have to be around the people who are doing them in the places that they're doing them. That's why I created so that we can come together as a community to help each other and to learn and grow. There are 5 essential people that you need in your life in order to succeed. So the first person that you have to have is someone who is very knowledgeable in the subject matter that you're interested in. There's someone who may have gone to college or university for it, who've read lots of books, watched lots of videos, have done various projects on their own to try and learn everything there is about that subject. See, they've gone through the trouble. They've experienced what it's like to go from nothing to something, and they can really help you a lot on your way to learning the subject. Now, the second kind of person that you have to know are people who are professionals. They are those who have achieved the same thing that you want to achieve. These are the people who have gone not only through the process of learning, but through actually applying what they know in order to help other people. Besides their knowledge and experience, professionals almost always have networks of people they know, people who they trust. This is one of the most valuable things that you can have if you want to take your skills to a level beyond just a hobbyist. When you know people, that's when opportunities happen. They create projects, and when they put their minds together, they are able to produce things that would otherwise not be possible for you to create on your own. Every project has, the financial needs, and you need people who are knowledgeable in business or knowledgeable in funding. You might need voice talents, you might need camera operators, people who are good at editing. They're the people that you aspire to be. It's not that you are trying to be them or to be like them as a person, but you want to duplicate their results, their success that they've had. They're the ones who have achieved the things that you want to achieve already. The third kind of person you need is a mentor. A mentor is somebody who isn't necessarily going to be teaching you per se, but what they will do is hold you accountable. They're the people that you can talk about your dreams, your aspirations, what you're working on. There's someone who can provide some guidance and suggestions as to what you need to do in order to succeed at what you're doing. So the fourth kind of person that you have to have are your peers. These are the people with similar dreams and aspirations to you. They're the ones who are going along much the same journey you are. They're the people who you are probably going to work with the most because you're at similar levels, you want to achieve similar things, and you share the experiences that you have together as you grow and learn and move on to what you're going to achieve. And the fifth kind of person you need are those who are willing to take risks, those who create opportunities, who form teams and projects and bring people with different skills together in order to create things that are greater than any one alone could achieve. It is my goal to bring all the talent around Bowen Island together so that we can support each other, and when we need, say, talent, whether it be production, post-production, or business, we have a place that we can go to find the local members who can help us. When I graduated from film school, I was one of only 3 students who graduated out of a class of 40. I felt so alone when I got out of there. Throughout our classes, I never really got to know people, and when I finally got out of the school, I didn't have a professional network to rely on. For a long time, I felt like I was completely unemployable. The studios didn't know who I was. It wasn't until sometime afterwards that a person that I knew by sheer chance came in contact with a television station who needed someone with my talents. And that's how I got my first job in the film industry. When I was there, I was able to propel my skills far faster than I ever was able to while I was alone, because I was surrounded by people with experience, people who knew what they were doing and knew how to achieve good results quickly. Today I have credit on several feature films, including The Flash and Black Adam. I've worked 4 years in broadcast television. I've shot many documentary interviews, and now I work on Bowen Island for Your Real Story, along with Randy Doherty. The point is, the people that you know are so important. They're the ones who are going to bring so much value to yourself and is going to allow you to use your skills to help others, which is ultimately what makes you valuable to the world. If you're and you have an interest in film or video, and you are one of those 5 kinds of people, I welcome you to join the So that's the video, and I thought that the 5 people that you need to have was a fantastic reason to start a new group. I didn't do the best of explaining it, admittedly. After I had already shot it and I was looking at it, be like, there's things I could have done better here, but I didn't want to go through the time of reshooting and making those changes. I decided it was just good enough. But I think the biggest oversight that I made, and I added this at the end for the purpose of the Facebook group, which was my personal story about college and what happened immediately after college. And I realized afterwards that if I presented it at the beginning, I could have went through each of the 5 people and had a little mini story about how it would have improved my life and my career had I had each of those kinds of people in my life at the time. And that would have tied it all together with the story, and I think it would have been more interesting that way. But unfortunately, I didn't think about that until after it had been shot, because I did have that change in heart between being a vlog and instead going on Facebook for a specific purpose. Some things about the video, apart from that I think could have been better. Near the beginning, there was a shot where I was sitting at my desk, and I had this like an LED panel light that I'd sat on my desk pointing at me. Now, I should have brought out another boom arm to lift it up, but in the interest of time, I decided just to stick it on the table against my better judgment. And sure enough, when I went to edit it, the inside of my mouth and my neck were like luminescent orange. The light was at the perfect angle that shot into my face, and it just looked really weird. I did some color grading on it to bring the levels down so it wasn't as noticeable, but it was still weird. So that was a bit of oversight. I was also thinking that I should start, when I do explanations like that, I should think about how shots are going to flow into each other, so the movement of the camera is motivated as opposed to just, here's a still shot, and then on the next shot it's suddenly moving. But instead be like, if it's a still shot, I should start moving so that it makes sense that the camera is moving on the shot after that. And it's another one of those things, like, as a director of photography, I know that, and I do that all the time with other people, but when I'm shooting myself, I'm thinking about other things, and it's really easy to overlook certain details. And it's part of the reason why films are made with teams, people who specialize in different things, so that you don't lose those things in your mind. Now, as far as the content of the shots went, I did another video before that where I was doing some cleaning as I was speaking, and I liked that. One of the problems with talking head videos like this is that they can be a little bit monotonous. You just have one shot and you're watching it for like 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes. And yeah, it can be a bit much. And I don't want to have to go through a whole bunch of effort to look for things like third-party stock footage, that kind of stuff, or me having to produce graphics to go over this. I do want a few graphics, but that's a problem that will solve itself over time as I have more opportunity to work on things. But I like the cleaning because it's somewhat unexpected. It's something different. It's unique. And it's also more natural. Things that we do that look natural because they are natural, whereas if you don't have any props, like things that you're interacting with, it's more of an act. And especially for some people, it can seem really unnatural, or if they feel uncomfortable on camera and they're doing something weird. I think it's a subject matter that I should make another video on in the future when I have a little bit better way of explaining it. And after trying the whole, putting the story first and intertwining the story throughout the subject matter, because I think it's a really great topic. It's something that is super important. You do need other people for success, and having the right kind of people around you can have a huge impact on yourself. Even if I just think about different jobs I've had in the past and how the attitude and the experience of the people around me really had an impact on what it was like to work that job, and also how much I got out of it in a professional sense. If you're with a bunch of people who don't really care about the work they're doing, or they're not very good at it, or they have a bad attitude, it's a huge difference versus being on a team where people do care about their work and they are good at it. It makes, even when I was in college, my instructors said that you would learn way more on the job in the first 6 months than you would in the full few years that you spent in college. And I think they were right about that. It really does bring your skills up exponentially faster than if you just try to do it on your own, or you're just doing lessons of how to learn things. The application of stuff is where you get the most rapid results, and that's a big reason of why I'm doing these videos. It's because I'm trying to apply things and not worry too much about getting it right the first time, because I like perfection, and perfection can kill your output if you're not careful. So just getting things out anyways in an environment where it's not direct to client. This is not client videos I'm doing, this is just stuff for myself. When it's with a client, there's always the pressure to do the absolute best you can, and I think you should do the absolute best you can when you're being paid for the work that you do. So I just got a text from Randy here, and apparently I'm doing a call for shooters at an event that's about to happen in a little bit. So that's cool. That's already putting my new Facebook group to the test to see if there's people interested in this. You know, networking is so great. It's one of those things I knew I should have been doing it earlier, but I'd never done it before, and I didn't really understand the full value. Like I didn't have belief in it. And belief is really important because what you believe controls you. So I think that's all I'm going to say about this video. I'm definitely going to make more videos like in the future because there's certain things about it that I like the idea of, the concept. I want to do like more shots of me doing other things around the house and the property as I'm talking about stuff, because I do think it's interesting. And I really want to see what the difference is when I start with the story and interlace it through the message. Because I have this suspicion that it's going to be a lot more interesting, and I'll be able to put the two beside each other to show what the difference is. And I think that's a really great story for demonstrating the concept of the idea behind your real story, because we're making marketing material that's based on stories. So being able to relate to people and to explain things and to put things into context using stories rather than just serving facts like so much other advertising that you see is done. So that would be fun.